I am Afroz Jahan, Faculty of Zoology, TTWRDC, Mahabubnagar. Today we will discuss an important topic from the 4th semester BSc Zoology. Okay, I think you all have an idea how the baby develops, and see in some animals baby hatch from the egg, as you know. Whereas if you observe in case of mammals, okay, it is growing, the fetus is growing inside the womb of the mother. So, did you get any idea? Did you get any doubt how the growing mother is getting food? It is getting food from the fetus is getting food from the growing mother's blood. Also, there is a connection in between mother and growing fetus. About that connection we are discussing today. That connection, the barrier which supplies the food materials from the mother to baby, and which gives protection and which performs other functions like respiration, excretion, etc. etc. About that barrier we will discuss in this class. That is nothing but the barrier is of what? Placenta. We call that barrier as placenta. Today in our class we will discuss about that placenta only. Okay? Placenta. We will discuss in our class about the placenta, development of the placenta, and the different types of the placenta. Now we will start our lecture. Different types and functions of placenta in mammals. Especially placenta is present in the mammals. Why? Because the baby, the fetus is present in the womb. It is growing in the mother's womb. Do you know what is placenta? I think you all have an idea about the placenta. Yes. See, this is nothing but the feto-maternal organ. What is it? Fetus. Maternal is nothing but the mother. It is a feto-maternal organ, means here the tissues which forms the placenta is nothing but some of the tissues are from mother's uterus linings and some of the tissues are from the fetus. Okay, the layers which combine and forms the placenta, which is nothing but they are of the feto and maternal organs. That is why placenta is called as it is a feto-maternal organ. It has two components. As you know, placenta is made up of how many components? Two components, which are nothing but fetal part and the maternal part. Fetal part, it develops from the chorionic frondosome. It develops fetal part. We are discussing about the fetal part. It develops from the chorionic frondosome, whereas the maternal part, it is derived from the decidua. It is nothing but the uterus layer. Decidua, with the uterus layer which involves in the formation of placenta. That one we are calling it as decidua. The placenta and the umbilical cord are a transport systems for the substances between the mother and the fetus. Placenta and umbilical cord play an important role. It acts as a transport system to supply the substances from mother to the fetus. So it acts as a transport system. You know that. Okay. You can see this figure. In this figure, it is clearly mentioned. See. Here, this is the structure of the placenta. Do you know what is placenta? Just now we discussed. It supplies food material, so it is nothing but a temporary connection between mother and fetus for the purpose of shelter, nutrition, excretion, circulation, and for the purpose of defense mechanism. This placenta transports some of the immunoglobulins from mother to fetus, especially IgG. G immunoglobulin is crossing the placenta and it is entering into the body. So by birth they will get some immunity for some infections, babies. So this is nothing but the structure of the placenta. This is what the structure of the placenta. See here, this is a chorionic villi. These are the villi. This is fetus now. This is what the umbilical cord of a growing fetus. As you know, placenta attaches to the walls of the uterus and through the umbilical cord. It attaches to the fetus. Okay, this is what the umbilical cord. This umbilical cord, from here it arises what? See, blood vessels are present, and these blood vessels are extended into the placenta. This is what the placenta. This total is of what? Placenta, which contains both fetal layers and maternal layer, feto-maternal organ. This one. See here, this whatever these blood vessels are there, they are extended into a structure which is called as chorionic villi. This chorionic villi is nothing but it is a layer of fetus. It is a layer of fetus. From the fetus, the first layer lining, first epithelium will come and it forms small branches like structure. It forms villi like structure. These villi we are calling at chorionic villi. Chorionic membrane forms the villi inside the mother's uterus. In uterus lining, these chorionic villi are extended. In these chorionic villi, here white colored is this is what chorionic villi. In these villi, fetus blood vessels are embedded. They are pushing inside. From this, it will take the nutrients. It will take the nutrients. See here, this chorionic villi is embedded in the uterus. Here below structures in the nothing but it indicates the mother's layers. This is what? Uterus lining. Yeah, this is what the uterus lining. These are the maternal veins, means mother blood vessels, veins and arteries, which supplies the blood and which takes the waste already deoxygenated blood. It is supplying, it is taking. Veins are collecting the deoxygenated one and the arteries are supplying the oxygenated blood. Here the arteries in uterus inner lining endothelium, these arteries release blood into the placenta. Here this is what the blood. The blood is released into the placenta. From these placenta, whatever the blood vessels are present here, the fetus blood vessels are there in the chorionic villi. This chorionic villi directly takes this blood and it supplies the blood to the fetus through the umbilical cord. Through this umbilical cord, it is supplying the blood. See, this is what the arteries, red colored. These arteries will take the blood and they will supply the blood to the fetus. These veins will bring here the veins will take the deoxygenated blood from the fetus. This is the exchange mechanism or transport mechanism of the food substances from the mother to growing fetus. This structure we are calling it as what? Placenta. This is structure we are calling it as placenta. Here you can see how the substances are transporting. Placental cell, natural killer cells, immune cells and blood cells. These are the layers which involves in the formation of placenta. Okay, 3 layers from the uterus and 3 layers from the fetus are involved in the formation of placenta. Here there are the first one, above one are the fetal layers, which are nothing but first blood vessels. The layer is called as what? Allantoic endothelial layer. This is what? Endothelium, and it contains second layer called connective tissue. Next, the uppermost layer is nothing but the chorionic epithelium. This chorionic epithelium only forms the chorionic villi inside the uterus. Through this villi only all the substances will be transported from the fetus, from the mother to the fetus. Chorionic epithelium, this one. Okay. Next we will discuss about the mother layers. Yeah, see, these are the uterine layers. Uppermost layer of the uterus is called as uterine epithelium. Next, it contains uterine connective tissue. Next, the inner layer is nothing but the endothelium. Epithelium is outer layer, endothelium is the inner layer of the uterus, which contains blood vessels. As it is, same names are given, just simply we have to keep here as a uterine. Uterine epithelium, uterine connective tissue, uterine endothelium, maternal blood vessels are the layers which will involve in the placenta formation. From the fetus side, allantoic endothelium, connective tissue and chorionic epithelium. In different organisms, different layers are involved in the formation of the placenta. That one we will discuss in this class. Yeah, see, Placenta at term. As you know, placenta is a fleshy organ. It weighs approximately about 500 grams. What is the weight? 500 grams. And diameter, if you observe, it may be of 15 to 20 centimeters. The thickness of the placenta is of 2.5 centimeters. And it is spongy in nature. It is spongy in nature. It occupies 30% of the uterine wall. See, 30% of the uterine wall is occupied by the placenta for the transport of substances. Two surfaces are present in this placenta, as earlier we discussed this about, that is what, maternal surface and the fetal surface. See here, 4 by 5th of the placenta is occupied or formed by the fetus, whereas 1 by 5th of the placenta is formed from the mother. Yeah, in this structure you can see this is what growing fetus. Yeah. This is what a growing fetus. These are the layers surrounded by fetus: extra amniotic layer, chorion and amnion. This is what the amniotic fluid, which protects the fetus from the shock absorber. It acts as a shock absorber, okay, which gives protection to the fetus. See here, this is the umbilical cord which brings the arteries and veins. These arteries and veins are extended into the chorionic villi. Chorionic villi. This is what the chorionic villi. This is what chorion frondosum. From the chorion frondosum layer only chorionic villi is formed. It is a layer of fetus, blue color one. Okay. Next, decidua basalis. This decidua basalis is nothing but it is a layer of fetus. These are the fetal layers, and these are the, sorry, this is a decidua basalis is a layer of mother. This is the mother layer, the maternal, and this is fetal layers. Both will form the placenta structure. This is what the placenta. These are the inner layers. Arteries and veins of mother blood vessels. See, here you can see this is pink color structure is nothing but the placenta. A temporary connection of in a pregnant woman which supplies blood from the mother to fetus. Umbilical cord attaches to the placenta. This placenta attaches to the uterine walls of the mother. See, umbilical cord. These arteries veins will enter into the chorionic villi. From this chorionic villi, it will enters into the uterus linings. These are the uterus linings. Here there is a space. Gap is present in between the chorionic villi and the blood vessels of the uterus lining. In this gap only the blood is released. The blood is pumped. From this gap, the exchange of materials will take place. If this chorionic villi absorb the blood and it will use, then deoxygenated blood it will release and it will use to the veins of the mother. Like that, exchange of materials will occur in this placenta. See here, same. Umbilical cord. You can observe in this figure clearly. See, these are veins and arteries of the mother which are supplying blood to the fetus chorionic villi. This chorionic villi is fully reached with the blood vessels of the fetus. Through these blood vessels, it will go through this umbilical cord. It supplies to the growing fetus. Here, see, this is what the structure of the placenta. Chorionic villi structure clearly you can see in this. See, this is what the villi. Okay, at the heart, this is the umbilical cord which attaches to the placenta. These are the types. Now we will see one small video which shows the just development of the placenta. Okay, how it will develops. A small video. See, as we discussed, from the chorionic villi, the blood vessels of the fetus will come, and from the uterus linings, the mother's blood vessels will supply the whatever the required materials. See here. This is what the placenta. Ball-like structure is looking, no? Umbrella-like structure. Yeah, from the placenta, umbilical cord arises and it is attached to the growing fetus. This is what the placenta. Upper side, the placenta is attached. This one is nothing but the blood vessels, umbilical cord which contains the arteries and veins. See, arteries and veins, umbilical cord. This one. Is it clear? This is what blood vessels present in the cord of the fetus. From here to see, this is nothing but a chorionic villi which is arised from the outer layer. Umbilical cord attaches to the placenta. From the placenta, chorionic villi. This is the layer, outer layer membrane forms chorionic villi, branched-like structures. It will embed into the uterus linings. Here you can see these, whatever the cream colored structures are there, this is nothing but a chorionic villi, which is richly supplied with the blood vessels, arteries and veins. See, this is the uterus lining. This is what the uterus lining, and it is entering, attaching to the embedding into the uterus lining, and there is a space in between the uterus lining and the chorionic villi. That space we will call it as lacuna. See here clearly. In this you can clearly see these are what uterus lining which are bringing, which are in this uterus lining the arteries are releasing the blood which contain different types of food substances. Okay, this blood is releasing into the space in between the chorionic villi and the uterus linings, and this blood is going to be received by the chorionic villi blood vessels. Here you can see how the exchange of the food materials occurring through the blood. See here, blood cells release in this space. From the space, this chorionic villi is absorbing the blood. This is mother's blood vessels, arteries, food substances also releasing hormones. See, this is what the chorionic villi. This is the chorionic villi of the fetus. Here in this chorionic villi, the arteries are receiving the food substances, already digested substances from the mother's blood to this fetus. Okay, these are the veins which are releasing excretory material is excreted outside. See this video clearly. Here waste is releasing from the veins. Here, one more time I will play. How it is receiving. These are the arteries of the mother releasing the blood and some nutritious substances which is captured or absorbed by the blood vessels or this distribution. And the waste material is released from the arteries, chorionic villi, and is placed in the maternal, maternal veins. The maternal veins. See, okay, this is what about the formation of placenta. I think you understood about this. Okay, next we will continue our lecture, that is what the formation of placenta. We will discuss about the types of placenta now. Already you got an idea about how the placenta is formed. Now we will discuss about the types. There are different types of placenta are there which are based on the origin of villi. They are classified based on the origin of villi. On the basis of origin of villi, placenta is divided into these many types. They are divided into these many types. See, placenta first, if the growing fetus is taking more food materials from the yolk sac, this is of what? Yolk sac placenta. It may take from the layers. It is of what? Allantochorionic placenta. Okay, yolk sac placenta you can find in the metatherians. Allantochorionic placenta you will find in the eutherians. You will find in the eutherians. Okay. This allantochorionic placenta is again divided into three types: non-deciduate placenta, deciduous placenta, contra-deciduate placenta. Three types. Allantochorionic placenta is divided into three types: deciduate placenta, non-deciduate placenta, contra-deciduate placenta. Here you can see again this non-deciduate placenta is divided into three types: diffuse placenta, cotyledonary placenta, intermediate placenta. Next, this deciduous placenta divided into again three types: zonary placenta, discoidal placenta and metadiscoidal placenta. Now we will discuss about these types of placenta. This is what yolk sac placenta. This is a yolk sac. Inside the yolk sac, vitelline blood vessels are arised, and these vitelline blood vessels take food materials from the yolk sac. That's why it is called as yolk sac placenta. Whereas here you can see structure of the yolk shape and structure of the yolk size of the yolk sac is decreased. Here allantoic vessels are playing an important role for the supply of food materials to the growing embryo or fetus. This is of what present in the eutherians. See, now we will discuss about the non-deciduate placenta first. Non-deciduate. There is no damage occurs to the mother's uterus linings. That is what non-deciduate placenta. At the time of birth, when parturition occurs, parturition is nothing but the giving birth to the baby. Birth is called as parturition, scientific terminology. Occurs, the chorionic villi are simply drawn from the depressions in the walls of the uterus, and thus maternal and fetal tissues separated without further damage to the uterine walls, and no bleeding occurs when baby is born. Afterwards, what happened, whatever the placenta is there, simply it will drawn out from the depressions of the mother uterus. It will simply comes out from the uterus and it will be released outside, but there is no damage occurs, no bleeding occurs during the birth, during the removal of the placenta. Such type of placenta we are calling it as non-deciduate or non-deciduous placenta, means no damage of the uterus lining walls occurs, and is found in pigs, cattle and some other mammals also. Pigs and cattle, you never find any type of bleeding during parturition. In mammals, bleeding occurs. See further, the chorionic villi of non-deciduate placenta, because it lies in opposition with the endometrium, but it don't fuse with it. It just lies opposite to the endometrium. It will lies, but it will not fuse with it, with the endometrium of the mother. If it is fused when it comes outside, it will cause damage to the uterine walls. So it will not fuse, just it is attached, that's it. So such a placenta is also called as semi-placenta, because it is lightly attached, it is not fused to the uterus walls. Next we will discuss about the deciduous placenta. It is also called as placenta vera. It is also called as placenta vera. In other mammals, however, the degree of intimacy is not, the degree of contact or the degree of attachment between maternal and fetal tissues become increased. They are strongly attached. The walls of the uterus becomes eroded to various degrees through the action of the trophoblast, upper layer of the embryo, and establishing a more intimate contact and facilitating the passage of substance from mother to the fetus and from the fetus to the mother. Intimate contact, strong bonding is present in between the trophoblast layer of the fetus and the uterine layer of the mother. So it will provide good passage of substances from mother to baby and fetus to the mother. Here there is a strong contact in between chorionic villi and the uterine mucosa, uterine vessels. So such placenta when coming outside, it causes hemorrhage. It will causes damage to the uterine walls and blood will flow from that. Such type of placenta we are calling deciduous placenta. Such placenta is called placenta vera or true placenta. At the time of pregnancy, the uterine wall is no longer intact, and when the fetus with its membrane, including the chorion, is removed, more or less extensive hemorrhage from the uterine wall occurs, ensues. That is, at the birth, when such placenta is removed or discharged, the uterine lining also tears away with some bleeding occurs. Why? Because when placenta is coming outside, it will also bring some uterine damages uterine wall, so bleeding occurs. Such a type of placenta we are calling it as deciduous placenta, which is especially found in higher mammals like human beings, and is called as deciduate or deciduous placenta. If bleeding occurs, it is a deciduous placenta. If bleeding doesn't occur, it is a non-deciduate placenta, which is present in cows, cattle. The maternal tissue which are the expelled at birth in the case of deciduate placenta are called decidua, means which the maternal tissues which comes outside, it is called decidua. Okay, the outside వచ్చినటువంటి placenta ఏమంటారు decidua అంటారు. It is called as what? Decidua. The hemorrhage at the parturition is normally stopped by the same mechanism as it serves for the expulsion of the newborn. The contraction of the muscular walls of the uterus constrict and blood vessels, thus allows down the flow of blood until clot of the blood stops the hemorrhage. Although this type of what happens so that blood stops flowing from the uterine walls due to the contraction of the muscles. This is about the third one. We will discuss about the contradeciduate placenta. See, in Paramales and Talpa example, more somewhat modified type of deciduate placenta is occurs, contradeciduate. It contains C, which is called as contradeciduate placenta. In such case, not only there is a loss of maternal tissue, but also of the fetal portion of the placenta, both of which absorbed in situ by the maternal leukocytes. What happens when baby is born? Some part of the fetus is also lost, placenta, and some part of the maternal placenta is also lost, but it is finally reabsorbed by the mother. Maternal leukocytes reabsorb the lost placenta inside the uterus. This is what contradeciduate, which is having contrast, different type of placenta. Now we will discuss about the types of non-deciduate placenta. Types of non-deciduate placenta. First one, we will discuss about the diffuse placenta. See, in some mammals, example, ungulates, pigs, sow, mare, horse and lemurs. In pigs and horse, the chorionic villi, the layer of the fetus, remains scattered all over the surface of the chorion, and their placentae are correspondingly expansive. This is what the chorionic layer, and the villi is scattered like this. It is scattered on total organism. Inside baby is there, which is diffuses toward the chorion. So this is what diffused placenta. Cotyledonary placenta. It forms the placenta. The chorionic villi is having some patch-like structures. See here, patches-like structures. It is having small dot-like structures, patch-like structures, or plate-like structures. In a cotyledonary placenta, the villi are found in groups or patches, while the rest of the chorion surface is smooth. The roseate patches of villi are called as what? Cotyledons, rose-like patches. It is especially present in cattle, sheep and deer. Which type? Cotyledonary placenta, which is having small patch-like structures of placenta embedded on the chorion. Next, intermediate placenta means which is containing both type of characteristics, like cotyledonary placenta characteristics are present, diffused placenta characteristics are present in this. How? Imagine. It is a rare type. It shows free villi on cotyledons. Villi are arranged in cotyledons as well as scattered also. Villi are scattered also. Hence it is called intermediate type. This type, in these three types of placenta during parturition, the fetus will not at all damage. This type occurs in camel and giraffe. It contains both cotyledon type patches of placenta is present, somewhere scattered placenta is also present in intermediate placenta type. This is about the non-deciduate placenta, three types: diffused placenta, cotyledonary placenta, intermediate placenta we discussed. Next we will discuss about deciduous placenta. Non-deciduous we discuss three types. Deciduate placenta, it is also divided into three types: jonary placenta, discoidal placenta, metadiscoidal placenta. First we will discuss about the jonary placenta. Zone means you know. Have you ever heard red zone, green zone, yellow zone? Like the zone is a marked area. Here in a jonary placenta, the villi are developed in the form of a belt. It is developed in the form of a belt or girdle-like band around the middle of the blastocyst or chorionic sac. In this chorionic sac, they will form a band-like structure here. These bands are called as what? Jonary placenta. Such placenta occurs in cats and dogs. Raccoon has incomplete jonary placenta. Means somewhere it has zones. Not complete zone is present in the raccoon. Next is often discoidal placenta. You know what is a disc? Have you ever heard the term disc? Here also disc meaning same. Small discs are present. The placenta scattered in small discs in insectivores like mouse, rat and rabbit. In rodents, the villi are restricted to a circular disc or plate-like structure. The plate-like structures are formed on the blastocyst. See here, this is what the disc. Placenta is formed like a disc. डिस्क की तरह अगर प्लासेंटा फॉर्म है ब्लास्टोसिस्ट के ऊपर तो इसे क्या कहते हैं? डिस्कॉइडल प्लासेंटा कहते हैं. ओके, इट इज कॉल्ड एज व्हाट? डिस्कॉइडल प्लासेंटा. Next, metadiscoidal placenta. In primates also discoidal placenta is found, but some of the special types of metadiscoidal placenta is also present. That is, chorionic villi are the first scattered, but later it becomes restricted to one or two discs. What happened? First, it is the chorionic villi is scattered like this. Then it will arrange in the form of small disc. One disc it may be, or it may be arranged in the form of two discs like this. Okay, it is what of metadiscoidal placenta. It may be of single disc. If single disc is present, that is what? Monodiscoidal placenta. If two discs are present, that is what? Bidiscoidal placenta. Single disc monodiscoidal placenta, two disc bidiscoidal placenta. These comes under metadiscoidal placenta. First placenta is scattered on chorionic, then it will form a disc shaped structures. It may be one disc or two disc. Monodiscoidal placenta, bidiscoidal placenta. In these figures you can see clearly. See here, diffused placenta is present in horse or pig. See, this total red color, pink color one is there, no, it is a placenta. Diffused, totally spreaded. Jonary placenta, a band-like structure is formed, belt-like structure present in dogs and cats. Cotyledonary placenta, patches are present here, see, small patches present in cattle, sheep. Discoidal placenta, one disc may present means monodiscoidal. If two discs are present means bidiscoidal. Example is nothing but the rat. These are the different types of deciduate placenta. Deciduate placenta. This is the classification of the placenta. See, based on the histology, which type of tissues are involving in the formation of placenta, again it is divided into 5 types. On histological basis, following types of mammalian placenta have been recognized. What are they? We will discuss. In placenta formation, 6 tissues or 6 membranes are participated. 3 membranes are from the fetus and 3 membranes are from the mother. Okay, 3 are from the fetus and 3 are from the mother. What are the fetal layers? The endothelium, first maternal layers, the endothelium of the mother, connective tissue of the mother and uterine epithelium of the mother. Next, the ectoderm of the chorionic villi or chorionic epithelium, chorionic connective tissue and the fetal blood vessels. Okay, these are what the tissues involved in the formation of placenta. Okay, next we will discuss about these fetal layers and maternal layers. See, these in this figure clearly you can observe these are the fetal layers and these are the maternal layers. Okay. See here, above 3 are fetal layers and below 3 are the maternal layers. Okay. Next, see here, this is what based on the attachment of the tissues is divided into 5 types. This is nothing but the epitheliochorial placenta, syndesmochorial placenta and the endotheliochorial placenta. Next, hemochorial placenta and the hemoendothelial placenta. Is it clear? Next, we will discuss about these 5 types of placenta. These are the layers of fetal extraembryonic layers and the mother 3 layers. Already we discussed about this. Okay. Next. See here, based on how many tissues, how many layers of tissues are involved in the formation of placenta, it is divided, it is given different names. See, in epitheliochorial placenta, 3 fetal layers and 3 uterus layers are involved. Means here how many layers are there? 6 layers are involved. Defensive layers are 6. Whereas in syndesmochorial, 3 layers are from fetus and 2 layers are from the uterus are involved. Means here only 5 defensive layers are present. One layer, the epithelium of the uterus is disappeared in this type of placenta. In endothelial, 3 layers are from the fetus and 1 layer is from the uterus involved. Here only the last endothelium is involved in the formation of placenta. So here 4 defensive layers are present. Hemochorial, 3 layers involved from the fetus only. Here no layer is involved, means only 3 layers are present. Sometimes here in hemoendothelial 2 layers are present, means directly blood is bathed on the blood of the mother. Okay, uterus blood. This is of what the layers involved in the formation of different types of placenta. This is what epitheliochorial placenta. Here epithelium directly connects, forms this chorionic trophoblast forms chorionic villi into the epithelium. This is what epitheliochorial placenta. Chorion of the fetus
membrane and the epithelium of the mother, maternal membrane, forms the what? Placenta. That is called as epitheliochorial placenta. Next we will discuss about syndesmochorial placenta. This is what here see, mother's epithelium tissue is disappeared or damaged. Here directly mother's connective tissue is attached with the chorionic villi, so that syndesmochorial placenta. Next here endotheliochorial, endothelium of the uterus, blood vessels. Endothelium is attaching with the chorion, outer layer of the fetus, so that endothelial chorial placenta we say. Here hemochorial, hemo is nothing but the blood vessel, blood, directly blood is bathed on the chorionic membrane, it will take food directly from the blood, so it is called as hemochorial placenta. Hemoendothelial placenta means directly blood of the fetal will bath in the blood of the uterus. See, hemoendothelial, in this you can see. Here, the blood, this is what the fetal endothelial layer, it is directly bought from the maternal blood vessels. Epitheliochorial, epithelial layer of the mother, chorionic layer of the fetus. Syndesmochorial layer, connective tissue of the mother and chorionic layer of the fetus. Endotheliochorial placenta, endothelium of the mother and chorionic layer of the fetus. Hemochorial placenta, blood vessels, endothelium of the mother and blood of the mother and chorionic membrane of the fetus. Hemoendothelial placenta, blood of the mother and endothelium of the fetus. These are the different types of what? Placenta, based on the type of tissues or defensive layers are involved. Now we will discuss about the epitheliochorial placenta. The type here, the epitheliochorial type placenta is most primitive type. It is most primitive type and it is found in marsupials, ungulates like pig, horse, cow and cattle. It is also present in lemurs. In this case, placenta is formed of 6 tissues. Already we discussed. 3 tissues are from mother, fetus, and 3 tissues are from mother, maternal and fetal tissues, because the immediate contact of two halves of the placenta involves chorionic epithelium and uterine epithelium. This type of placenta we are calling it as the epitheliochorial placenta, epithelium of the mother and chorionic layer of the fetus. Here it lies in the pockets like depression of the uterine walls. In this you can see pocket like depressions. Here it is present. It is an example of epitheliochorial placenta. Okay, see here. 3 of the from fetus, 3 are from the mother. This syndesmochorial, already we discussed, only 5 barriers are present in this, means 5 layers are present only in this. See. In the ruminant ungulates like cattle and sheep, the fetal and maternal components are fused so intimately as to result a destruction of the epithelium. Which epithelium? Uterine epithelium occurs. Mother's epithelium is damaged, so that only 5 barriers are present in this placenta. Therefore, it lies between the 2 blood streams. This type of placenta we are calling it as syndesmochorial placenta. The allantoic chorionic villi will pass into the uterus of the mother. The chorion will come in contact with the syndesmosome of mother's uterus. With the syndesmosomes of the mother's uterus, the fetus chorionic villi will be embedded. It will burst, make holes and it will enter inside. Hence it is called as syndesmochorial placenta. Here you can see. Directly connective tissue, uterine walls, it is embedded inside. Syndesmochorial placenta. Endotheliochorial placenta. See, in carnivores, it occurs like dogs and cats. The uterine mucosa is also involved, reduced. It is reduced, and the chorionic epithelium comes in contact with the blood vessels. Directly, maternal blood is in contact. See, in such a case, therefore, there lies only 4 barriers. Only 4. 3 barriers are from the fetus, 1 barrier is from the mother. This type of placenta, we are calling it as endotheliocorial placenta. Endotheliocorial placenta. See, direct blood endothelium of the uterus. Blood is in contact with the chorionic membrane. Here 1, 2, 3 layers from the fetus, only one layer from the mother is involved. So totally 4 layers. Sometimes it may be directly blood may bath on this endotheliocorial layers. Hemochorial placenta. Okay, in the hemochorial, heme means all of you know that what is heme. Heme is nothing but the blood. Chorial placenta of primates like moles, shrews and rats. The reduction of the barriers of 3 occurs. That is, there is no endothelium, there is no blood vessels, it disappears, and directly the chorionic epithelium is bathed into the blood sinuses. In blood sinuses, directly it will bath and take the food materials. Actually, the chorionic villi are surrounded by the spaces devoid of endothelial linings, into which maternal blood enters through the uterine arteries, flows out through the uterine veins. This is called as what? Hemochorial placenta. Blood is directly bathed on the chorionic villi. See here, hemochorial placenta, you can see in this figure. Is it clear? See, this is what blood, maternal blood. This is what chorionic villi. It is directly bathed, taking food from the mother's blood, direct from the blood sinuses. This is called as what? Hemochorial placenta. Last one is of what? Hemoendothelial placenta. Blood will mix with the blood here. See, in this case, in hemoendothelial placenta of higher rodents like rat, guinea pig and rabbit, the number of barriers between the maternal and fetal blood streams is further reduced into 2. Only 2 barriers are present. In them, the chorionic villi lose their epithelial and connective tissue layers to such a degree that in most places the bare endothelial lining, only blood vessels are present. Blood vessels alone separates the fetal blood from the maternal blood. Blood vessels, fetus blood vessels will separate the maternal blood vessels. So there are only 2 barriers are present. See here, this is what the maternal blood. See here, this is what the maternal blood and this is what the fetus blood vessels. Vessels will directly bath with the blood sinuses of the fetus. More advanced, it is more advanced step in development than human beings placenta. The trophoblastic cells of the chorion degenerate to such an extent that only endothelium of the fetal vessels intervenes between maternal and fetal blood. See, only endothelium of the fetus is interacting between the mother's blood and with the fetus blood. This is more advanced placenta. In this figure, clearly you can see this is what? Epitheliochorial placenta, endotheliocorial placenta and directly hemochorial. Blood sinuses will directly bath on the chorionic membrane. Chorionic membrane bath directly in the blood vessels, blood sinuses of the mother. Okay, this is what about the different types of placenta. I think you got an idea about this placenta types and structures. If you have any doubts, please put it in the comment box. We'll discuss later. Did you understand? Let's see this video. Okay, if it is clear, if you have any doubts, please put it in the comment box. Thank you.